Where's my phone? Is that thunder? Where? Okay, so hi. This is me right before tomorrow's operation, and so I've just washed my hair. It's a little crazy to think that tomorrow I'll be getting my head fixed. I have had a hole in my head for the past 2 years, and so this is going to be a very interesting moment. Probably not going to sleep tonight, knowing me and my anxiety. I'm going to be too scared and just too worried, and so I'm going to do what I did when I had the liposuction surgery. I'm going to watch every episode of Run BTS I possibly can, because they are my coping mechanism. They are what makes me happy, and the good thing is that my friend Amy, she's just told me that she is quote-unquote nocturnal, and so she's like, message me whenever you want, trust me, which is going to be very handy, because I'll probably be like, oh, look at this funny thing, and just, yeah, but, so yeah, I've done my hair, so it's freshly washed, and I'll show you guys what it looks like now, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like after the operation when I have regained my strength again. So far, I will be staying in for 5 days, so from Monday to Friday. Today is Valentine's Day, so, but Monday to Friday they said I'll stay in, which is a little sad. I'll be in hospital for my dad's birthday, but at least I'll be able to see him. It's going to be a little difficult the first couple days because we did go into a snap-down lockdown, and so we have a 5-day lockdown starting on Friday or Saturday, one of those days, and it releases on Wednesday, and so Dion was going to come over on Wednesday to visit me in hospital, but that might not happen anymore. We're not entirely sure, and you can't see my head. You probably didn't see the entire thing. I apologize, but I'll just show you guys what my head looks like right now. Okay. Ugh. I'm too tall for this. Okay. I'm too tall for it, so I've just ducked down. So that's what my head looks like. That's the hair loss situation I have. It's crazy to see it all. So the hole is right here, right there, and so yeah, you can kind of see it if I like bring it closer maybe. No, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying and I'm failing, but I've got everything packed so far. So yeah, we've got clothes and blankets, and then I've got all my other technological stuff. So my Nintendo is coming with us, but I'm also taking this. I'm gonna have to zoom out because we'll have to see it, but this is got all my DVDs. So I've got the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then I've got some Star Wars movies, and I've got this Disney movie. If you know it, let me know. It's one of my favorites. I love it. And then I've got The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, Black Pearl, and then at the very back I've got 2 BTS concerts. I've got Magic Shop, which is this one, and then I've got the Sao Paulo version of the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself tour. And then I have the season greetings from this year and last year of, as I was saying before, this rudely cut out on me. So all the K-pop stuff are at the back, and then the other movies are at the front. I do have Netflix because I will be taking my computer with me, so I'm not too fussed about that. Here I am, hi. But yeah, so everything's packed, ready to go. My room is completely empty, so it's ready for my brother and my dad to fix it up, but fingers crossed everything goes well tomorrow. So the videos that are on screen at the moment are the few episodes of Run BTS that I watched the night before my operation. For those who don't know, Run BTS is a reality game show-like environment where the members of BTS partake in funny little activities and challenges, as you can see. And it was a way for me to cope with the anxiety I had before the operation, as well as being a way for me to keep track of time, I was told that from midnight onwards I wouldn't be able to eat anything, and this was because I had to partake in fasting. I'm going to put a definition on screen because I know there's a religious fasting, but this is the medical fasting, which is a little bit different, I'm pretty sure. And so I used the show as a way to tell myself at midnight, can't eat anything else. If you want to eat anything else, have it before midnight. And when midnight came around, I decided to actually try and get some sleep, which was easier said than done with all this anxiety I had for the operation. But it was totally worth it. I got a lovely jar, well, kind of like almost a little pot of custard after the operation itself when I woke up, and that was made it all the better. But yeah, so this is just the way I calmed down before the operation, which was a little terrifying, which is to be expected. Good morning, everyone. I'm gonna try and be quick as possible. So it's the morning of my operation. I woke up at 5:58, so now it's like really early in the morning. But I've just finished packing everything I need to take. I've done my teeth, I've gotten changed. As you can see, I'm no longer in my pajamas, but everything is finally packed. As you can see here, and my bag is like overflowing, but that's just because of the blanket I have in there. So yeah, we're about to go get the operation done. It's kind of bizarre considering that I've waited 2 years for this and it's finally happening. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, but apparently that's too difficult for me to do. But yeah, so it's finally gonna happen today, and I'm really happy. Finally I've got a life back. Like, I had a life before, but I wasn't able to do much, and so I'm just happy. Hopefully everything goes well and I'll be able to be normal-ish again. I've decided to take a photo card with me. I've taken the Life Goes On Polaroid photo card of all of them together. I'll see if I can get it out. This is the one I took because I wanted to have them with me, and I can't really take any BTS stuff, so hopefully this gives me luck. Wish me luck, guys. Bye. So this is what my room looks like. This is the door behind this big curtain, and as soon as you come in, this is what it looks like. This is the children's hospital, so it's very different. This is my bed. This is where I've been sleeping, and this is a little tray on wheels that I have water with. I've been watching movies recently. This helps with the blood pressure, and then you've got like the clothes and the food and all the stuff that we've brought in. And then we've got this, which is like our little daily planner board, which helps people know who we are and like what, obviously, like which doctors I'm seeing, which are plastics and neurosurgery and all that stuff. And then through this door, if I turn the light on, is our bathroom. And so we have two hooks up here, the toilet, but a standing shower and the sink. We have places, and here I am, fabulous as ever. I look really bad, I know, don't tell me I'm already wet. So once we leave here, We have this chair which can be moved around. It's got little rollies on the bottom, and then we've got this which connects, and then this is the thing that helps with angling of the bed. So we have that there so I can touch it. And then over here behind this is where my mom sleeps. So she has all her work, her pillow, and then out here is, if I can open the window, here it is. That's our view from outside. So that's more of the hospital, but they're very difficult to open, so I'm going to try and put that back. But my favorite part has to be this contraption, which is actually the TV. And so we turn it on, and normally you would order what you want to eat. You can access the internet, there's games, and there's also a TV, so it's touchscreen. So you choose whatever channel you want. So say you want ABC, and then you just turn it on and it turns on. And so that's pretty handy, but we're currently turning it off because I'm watching Fellowship of the Ring at the moment. And so yeah, this is my room. And there's all the doctor's stuff, but they like plug me into when they want to take observations about like heart rate and stuff. But yeah. Another really cute thing is that since it's the children's wards, we have animals printed on the wall. And so I've got a monkey and a dragonfly. And I think that's it in this room. But yeah, it's really cute. It's one of the bigger rooms I'm in, which is nice, but this is it. Pretty cool. All right, so currently it is the 2nd of May, as you can hopefully see on my lovely old iPhone 6. It has been almost 3 months since the operation. My skull is completely fine. All the sutures they put in have now evacuated the site, which is great. They dissolve, which is pretty cool. My hair growth is going pretty well, and I've been able to, I would have filmed this earlier, but I got back to work and I've been really busy. But because I've also been doing my bedroom, but that's another video. If you want to check it out, it'll be somewhere on the channel. Hopefully it'll take a while to video and edit and everything, but I am alive, and I am so sorry it took so long, but life has just been very hectic since I came out of the operation. If you see me looking down like this, I have my computer here because I've written everything I wanted to talk about while I speak about what happened without the cameras rolling, because I couldn't film that much because I was really tired. So, to start it off, overall, it was a good stay. Pretty good stay. I had some amazing nurses. 2 stand out in my mind. One was a girl called Jamie who looked after me during the day. And we had the funniest conversation about how when she was wearing Star Wars scrubs, and scrubs are the outfits that nurses wear when they're looking after you, and she was wearing Star Wars one, and I complimented her. I said, I love those Star Wars characters and like it looks really cool. And she goes, yeah, I haven't actually seen Star Wars. I'm just wearing this to get the compliments, which was really funny. And we bonded really well. Sadly, she wasn't there for my entire 5-day stay. I was there from Monday the 15th to Friday. Hopefully I have those numbers correct. I might be wrong. But she wasn't there for the Thursday or the Friday because she had gotten a new puppy on the Thursday, and so she was with the new puppy, which was a really cute puppy. At nighttime though, I did have an amazing guy look after me called Tane, and he and I got along really well. He was really funny. Pretty sure he was the only male nurse on the ward, but yeah, he was doing this and studying, which was like, wow, hats off to you, because that's a lot of work. But yeah, he made the night times really fun, and we joked about how if you ever get bored on the night ward, just go visit Kate in room 32 because she'll be awake watching movies, which is legit all I did was watch movies and watch things on my computers. I didn't really move that much for reasons I was really tired. But sadly, there were some downsides to the experience. There's always going to be downsides, and so I'm going to get the downsides out of the way, and then I'll finish on a high note. That's how I'm going to do it. When I wake up, because I'm going to start from when I wake up, I'm back in my ward. I woke up a little earlier and then I went back to sleep, but the time I actually woke up and stayed awake, I noticed something very, very irritating. I had these weird leg compression thingy machines that were connected. I'll put a picture of what it looked like on my leg here, but at the very bottom there were these little connection clips, and they would connect to tubes, and the tubes would be connected to a machine clipped on the side of my bed, which would pump air into these leg compression things on me, and they would swell up, and so it would go from the ankles to middle of legs to upper thighs and back down again. And it's obviously a form of to stop any blood clots, I'm pretty sure, in the leg. I might be wrong there, but it's the compression thing. And I've heard of compression socks. I have compression socks somewhere. Hold up. Ugh. Okay, I have compression socks. These are compression socks, and the bottom of your foot would be in this little hole here, but those are compression socks, and these are the ones I actually wore for the Thursday and the Friday, because I was like, can I take them home? Because I'm not going to give them to anyone. But because of, and there's a reason as to why I got compression socks on these days, and it was because the one time during the night I had rolled over and I accidentally unplugged the machine from my foot, from one of my legs, and I heard it pop, and I was like, oh dear, I need these on my legs. So for the first couple nights, I was able to sleep with them on my legs, but after a while it got really irritating, because every time I wanted to go up to go to the bathroom, I had to unplug myself from the machine. And it just made it really difficult. I couldn't really cross my legs, I couldn't really move around. I was just lying for at least 3 days, and it was just really uncomfortable after a while. It was the funny end of the disappointing parts was that. But yeah, I did get to, after I disconnected it during the night, the next day I asked the nurses, can I have compression socks? Is that okay? And they were like, they looked at my chart and they were like, yeah, you're okay to have them. You don't have a reason not to have them. And I was like, are you kidding me? I could have had them the entire time. So I got the compression socks in the end, and these were so much better. They're not as noticeable as the inflatable leg things, but they're a lot more comfortable as well. And you can bend your legs in whatever way possible and they still work. But, and then there was the food. It's an okay food, but the downside is that all of the vegetables are cooked together. And so I think there's also all the foods cooked together. So all the chicken would be cooked together, and then all the vegetables we cooked together. And sometimes it's just really, really bad. The vegetables sometimes are really mushy and just not tasty to eat. And it sucks because I know I have to eat, I'm recovering, but compared to the adults, the children's food is a lot better. I assure you, being someone who was in the original Monash Hospital before the children's hospital next door was built, I remember that food when I was 7 and 6 years old. I remember it, and so I know the worst of the worst. But still, I remember on the Friday I got Mum to text Dad and be like, can you bring in fresh vegetables that are cold and raw that I can just munch on because I need real food? Because at that point I was thinking I might have to stay in overnight if they don't get these scans back, because they weren't going to let me go unless they had scans that proved the plastic was where it's meant to be. But yeah, so I remember there's also the cafe downstairs, and so on the last day I went and had lunch from there, and it was amazing. But the food, it's never going to be good. It might look good in the video, but trust me, the only good thing about that chicken was the chicken and the potatoes. Vegetables, not so much. But the most frustrating part of being in hospital was waking up after my 7-hour surgery. I was fine with the leg compression machines. I was fine with the massive bandage that was really tight around my head that was slipping off every night. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the food. I can deal with that. They put another stupid catheter in me. And for those who don't know, a catheter is a bag connected to a long pipe connected to an inflatable thing that gets shoved up into your bladder. And here's a picture of what it would look like in both the male and female bodies. And it just feels gross. I remember I woke up and I realized I could feel it. I could feel the discomfort, and I was like, they put a catheter in me. I won't say what I really felt because I don't want to be demonetized, but it was just so uncomfortable. And I said to them, why is this here? And they're like, well, the only way to get it out is if you have to move. And I'm like, I just woke up from a 7-hour surgery. I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna move. And so I got my mum to bring the green wheelie chair over to the side where the machine wasn't on that side of the bed. And I remember I got up, I waddled over, I sat down, and then I threw up, like I dry heaved, threw up. And then I waddled back to my bed and I sat down and I said, I moved, get the catheter out, and they did. It was a really, like I was moving for a little bit. I wasn't moving for like a really short amount of time. I actually got up. It took a while for me to actually walk to the chair, sat down, stayed in the chair for a rather long time, and then my back was like about to give out because it was like still really weak and everything. Shouldn't have been, but it was just, I think my whole body was just really weak. And I moved back to the bed and they removed it. Thank God I didn't have to sleep with it in. I think it's also because when I was actually in the ICU after the first operation, I was so drugged up on painkillers, I didn't notice it there. But this time around, since it was only a 7-hour surgery, nothing went wrong, thank God, and I was completely fine afterwards, I could feel it. I didn't have a need for massive painkillers. I didn't have any morphine, which is like great. I don't really want to go back on morphine after we saw what happened to me. Luca, I am so sorry. I apologize. But because I literally only had Panadol when needed, and I was pretty good with that. And so I could feel the catheter, and so having it removed was like the best feeling. It was painful, but it was the best feeling of my life. But the saddest part though about the entire experience was most definitely the fact that the Monday that I was going in, Melbourne went back into a 5-day snap lockdown because we had a small outbreak. And I remember sitting in the waiting room before being called in to go and get ready in like the beds and stuff. I overheard the receptionist talk about how they had to cancel 50% of the operations for that day. And I felt so scared. Oh, my camera just died on me, so I had to go get the new battery, the other battery. But the saddest part, as I was saying, was about that lockdown. And so when we actually arrived, Dad was not allowed to come any further than the entrance to the hospital with us, and it was really sad. So I just like hugged him and said goodbye. Mum came with me because she's the one that's actually going to be staying with me throughout the entire hospital stay, for obvious reasons. There are things Mum will help me out, such as like getting washed. There was like in the bathroom, I actually have to have someone there with me when I'm getting cleaned because I don't want to like pass out. I have done that before at home. The bath once was too hot that when I tried to stand up, I actually blacked out and I got really bad bruises on my side. And so for safety, Mum came with me for those types of situations. But because of the lockdown, so Dad couldn't come in to see me goodbye, and it was just Mum, and we were very separated. Everyone was very separated. I was the first one of the day though, so that was pretty good. Knowing that it's a 7-hour operation and I was the first one on kind of helped me feel like, yes, it's finally getting done. It's going to be over soon, because for the liposuction, I was the last one. of the day, and so it was really nice to know that it will be over and done with a lot quicker than normal. And so mum was able to come with me to the waiting room for the adults, because they were doing this in the adult theatre for the main doctor, my main neurology doctor. He was like, we're going to do it in the adults theatre. And so we took a bed ride through to the adults, and then I was waiting there, and then mum had to leave, and it was just me by myself, and it was terrifying, but also really, like it is now, like thinking back to it, it was a really emotional moment, because like the next time I wake up, I'll have a skull that won't tell me when a thunderstorm is happening. Like right now, you'll probably be able to start hearing thunder, because we are literally about to have a thunderstorm, and the only way we can now tell as a family there's going to be a thunderstorm is that the cat is now hiding under a blanket on mum and dad's bed. And beforehand, when I still didn't have a full skull, the air pressure change would give me really, really bad headaches. And so knowing that that would no longer happen, and knowing that I'd be able to go back on planes, knowing that I'd be able to go hang out with my friends and not worry about someone accidentally elbowing me in the head, because I am one of the shortest in my friendship group, is pretty crazy. Afterwards, when I was in my ward room, there was a rule that only one parent was allowed to be with the child at a time. And so when dad came to visit, mum would leave the room and go downstairs and do some work in the little cafe place, and dad would only stay for like an hour at most, because I have a younger brother, and he would go home and make sure that my younger brother was okay and hadn't burned the house down while he was gone. But yeah, I wasn't able to see my brother for an entire week, which was really weird, because normally our bedrooms are right next to each other, and normally I'd hear him being very, very loud on his computers nowadays. But like, to think that I wouldn't be used to that originally. And I think also another really sad part was that Dion and Amy were going to come see me on the Wednesday. We had planned it all and everything, and then the lockdown happened and that wasn't possible, and I was so heartbroken more for that, because they have been the shining light that's been guiding me through the past couple years. They have been the friends that have dropped everything when I called, and they would be there for me every time to make me feel better. When every step back, every time the hospital would call us and be like, hey, we're gonna have to push back your operation, they would be the ones that would really respond. And like, Dion's dad works for a chocolate company, so she would give me free chocolate basically. She knows the way to my heart. And I remember Amy, I wanted to talk to her, and I messaged her asking if she was free, and she called me and she said, I'm currently on my lunch break, so I'm going to go get food, but I can talk to you. And it was because they have done that I was so sad that I couldn't physically see them until after I get home. I had my movies. I remember we watched the entirety of the original Star Wars movies. We watched Narnia, and I remember starting to cry when Lucy met Mr. Tumnus, and I don't know why. I think it's just because I have such a strong connection to the Narnia world, that it was just such I was at such a highly strung moment in my life, and I had so much emotions in me that seeing something that I loved so much just made me start crying again. I had the entirety of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because that is my one true love. I love the world of Lord of the Rings, and I can't imagine it not being there. But it was really difficult not having the ability to see the people you want to see. And it was also just really lonely. There was one funny bit though about the entire depressing part, because we had arranged that my dad would repaint my bedroom and fix up things while I was gone. And he was meant to start on the Monday. That was the plan, because by the Friday, when I come home, hopefully, because we didn't know at that time if I was coming home or not on the Friday, if I come home from the Friday, the bedroom would be done, there would be no paint fumes, it will all be clean and good to live in. And I remember on the Thursday, when Dad came in, I asked him, how's my room looking? Is it looking pretty good? And he was like, yeah, it's going really great. It's amazing. And there was something in the back of my mind that said, text your brother. Ask your brother what the bedroom looks like. And he sent me pictures. And these are the pictures he sent me. And these pictures are the exact way I left my bedroom on Monday morning. So nothing had changed. Nothing had moved. It was very funny. But Dad's very old. He forgets things. I understand. But at the time it was like, you had one job. One job. Like that thing with Loki. You had one job. But yeah, so that's the sad things that happened. The food, the catheter, the leg machine, and the lockdown. They were the worst parts. But there were some very fun parts as well with the experience. One thing for sure, and I will always be grateful for these female nurses who had the brains to be like, while I was knocked out, I'm still out, the operation's over, I haven't woken up yet. And they think to themselves, we should wash her hair. And I wake up and my hair, even though there's still like the betadine, it's like a antibacterial cleaning thing they put on the surface where you're cleaning and where you're going to operate. It kind of looks like Vegemite stain was all over my forehead and all on my head, but the actual hair wasn't covered in it. The hair didn't have any blood, a little bit of betadine, but not that much. But didn't have any blood in it, so it wasn't all chunked up and clotted together, and it was actually neat compared to the operation I had in 2018, where the doctors did not do that. Thank you to those female nurses for thinking about my hair. It was just a funny thing, but it was like, it made my day in that sense. The other good thing was that because I was the oldest on the ward, the nurses and I got along very, very well. We were able to have full-on conversations. They didn't have to ask my parents how I was feeling. They would actually ask me. Because like when you're little, you don't really understand what's going on, and so they have to like really think about how you want to communicate with a child. But with an adult, you're actually able to actually communicate. And so we're talking and we get along super duper well. And like I said, there were moments where we just got along so well and had a great time. And there was a moment where Tane came in, and I'm pretty sure it was either the Tuesday or the Wednesday. He arrived for his night shift and he walked in and he said, I am here wearing Darkseid Star Wars scrubs. And sadly though, that was the night where we started watching, what was it? We were watching Disney's The Sword and the Stone, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember. But that's what we were watching, and we had just finished the Star Wars stuff, and so it was like, so close. But it was like, there were moments like that where we just got along and we just were able to laugh and stuff. Because I remember there was also these two nursing students, and one of them was of Asian descent, I'm pretty sure, and the other one had European descent from their appearances. I didn't ask because I don't care about what your ethnic background is and what country your family comes from, but that's just so you guys can physically picture these two women. And the European descended one said, like, they came in together and she said to me, we saw your brain! That was legit the first thing she said to me, and that's because they were in the operation room with me when I was knocked out, and they were observing the operation. And so they technically, it wasn't a brain surgery, but there was a tear in the dura, which is like a little sac that encases the brain before the skull. And they had to fix the dura because there was a small tear which led to brain fluid leaking out. And it wasn't that bad of a deal. They were able to patch it up with like certain glue, I'm pretty sure, but you could see the brain through that because it was like a small tear. It was like, but you could still see the brain. And I remember they told me this and I was like, hi, nice to meet you, I guess. Like, it was a very bizarre moment, but they asked, they explained the situation. They asked if the Asian girl was able to interview me because they were doing it for like their studies. And so the European girl left, the Asian one sat down, and it turned out we were the exact same age. We were both born in the exact same year, 2001. And she asked me about my situation and why I was here. And I was like, how much do you want to know? Because there's a lot. So I explained the situation to her, and she was like blown away with how much that had happened to me. But we got along really well, and it was really funny. So it was stuff like that, which definitely, like with the nurses and the other doctors, that just we got along really, really well with. And it definitely made the bad side of it all so much better, because it's like these people actually look after you, they care about you. And the great thing was that compared to the other times I've been in hospital, I recovered really quickly. Like as soon as the catheter out, I was able to get up and walking around. And so I would walk to the bathroom, and I would and every day I'd walk a little bit more just to get used to it all. And so by the end of the week, I was able to wear my own clothes. I was able to go to the bathroom whenever I wanted. I was more comfortable being left in the room on my own. So it was like the doctors are even impressed with how quickly I recovered compared to the other times. But I think I'm just getting used to it. They need higher drugs for me to be like completely zoned out, I think. But it was just, it was so... There were some good sides, there were some bad sides, but definitely the good outweighed the bad. And I'm just super duper happy that it's now all over. Finally, after like 2-3 years, like let me think, calculations, 18, 19, yeah, literally after 3 years, it's finally done. And after all the setbacks, after every time the doctors were like, we're gonna have to push this back, your skin needs more time to heal, I'm really happy it's finished. A little sad that I've lost my Chanel symbol, because beforehand the scars from all the operations I had looked like the Chanel C's, right? And I was like, I've lost my expensive head. But now I have one that looks like the curve in the yin yang symbol, like the necklace I'm wearing, which kind of, I think is just so true. Now I have full balance of my body. I'm no longer going to be not feeling great when thunderstorms are. But yeah, I'm just really glad that the entire thing is now over. I'm no longer a storm predictor, because that was frustrating, because I'd want to get things done and then I get a headache and then the thunder would start and I'm like, Zeus, Thor, all thunder gods and lightning gods, please, would you please stop? They won't listen to anyone but themselves, let's be real. I'm also really happy now that I can spend time with my family. Like I said before, I'm one of the shortest in my friendship group. I'm not the shortest, but I am one of the shortest. And all of my really close friends are a lot taller than me. And so I was always really nervous that I accidentally get like an elbow to my head. Because if the open skull was, I'm going to call it that, the open skull, the hole in the skull was anywhere else on my brain and on my head, they would have had to give me a helmet of some kind. But since it was on the top, it was really, really unlikely anything would really happen unless it came like straight through, you know. But there was that possibility, because I do have some very tall friends. But I'm glad that's not going to be an issue anymore. I'm excited to go back onto like theme parks and like do that type of things, and go to do outdoor activities without the fear of getting hurt. That's going to be really great. And there's also the possibility to now travel overseas again. I physically haven't been to New Zealand in the time I feel 3 and a bit years. I've had my cousins come over when they were able to. The cousin I'm closest in age to was able to come over just before it got really bad. But other than that, I haven't seen them in years. And I would love to, considering I'm turning 21 next year, I would love to have them at least come over for the party if something goes wrong. But I'm just glad I can now go visit family. I can go visit my friends again, because some of them weren't in the designated zones. Like there was a certain limit of kilometers from your house that you were able to go to, and if you go past that, you have a risk of getting like police and stuff. So I'm just glad that's no longer a risk. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going back overseas after everyone gets vaccinated. I'm not risking it. My parents don't want to risk it, even though I have to wait because I can't take the AstraZeneca because I'm prone to blood clots. Yay. But I look forward to going overseas. There's a plan set in motion for me to go to certain countries. I'm not going to reveal what they are yet. And that's all I'm going to tell you because it's going to be on this channel and I don't want to spoil any surprises. So, this is me ending my video. This is me about to go and start living a life. I apologize once again for how long it has taken me to upload, but I have been super duper busy with work and just life in general. Also the fact that I've been redoing my bedroom. I've got books everywhere. Like my bed is an utter mess. I have things I need to do and I don't have a lot of time. There's not enough hours in the day, you know? If you like this video, please don't be afraid to click that like button down below. That would be really, really sweet. And if you would like to share this video with someone that might need to watch it or are in the same boat and would like to watch it to show that like this is what hospital's like, don't be afraid to do that. Also, if you want to, you can comment down below as well. No pressure, only if you want to. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. That would be amazing to me. That would be so cool and I would absolutely love that if you guys would do that. I hope you're all staying very, very safe during these very difficult times and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.